everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. This is episode 20 of our Stitch Gallery and Glossary. Today we're learning the cluster stitch, and this stitch is wonderful, although a minor stitch, or I'm sorry, yarn eater. It takes up a little bit extra yarn to make these bigger stitches. The final outcome is absolutely stunning, and I use this stitch in quite a few of my patterns actually. The Gigi cardigan uses the cluster stitches, a lot of my granny square designs, and baby blankets also use the cluster stitch. You'll need some yarn here. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing today's creme de la creme yarn. I'm using just a cotton yarn in this tutorial. You can use any yarn for this stitch. If you want to make a swatch, you can use this cotton yarn or any yarn that you want to try this stitch out on. And you're going to need a crochet hook. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate using this fancy hook from the Etsy shop, Would Be Fancy. This is a G size hook, and I hold my hook like this, but you can hold your hook like this. These hooks are so wonderful, especially for those of us who crochet for a really long period of time. It's ergonomic, fits in the palm of the hand, and has that curve to fit in the palm of the hand. So you can find these at the Etsy shop, Would Be Fancy. I use them in all my video tutorials if you haven't noticed already. I love these hooks so much, and I promote them in every single video. They're awesome. So in this tutorial, I already have a little piece already made here just of single crochets, just a basic little row here. I chained an even number. I chained 12 and then single crocheted in the second chain from the hook and across. So I have 11 stitches across here, and I already chained up one here to go on the second row here. I'm just going to show you how to do the stitch, but you can use this stitch in a lot of different patterns in a lot of different ways. So I'm just going to single crochet into this next stitch right here, this first stitch here, and then now we'll go into making the cluster stitch. So depending on what pattern you're using, you'll have to go into the next stitch here. What we're going to do for a cluster is to yarn over onto your hook here, then go into the designated spot or stitch there, go into the stitch, then yarn over and pull through that stitch, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook. Okay, just like that. Oops. Just like that. Hold those other 2 loops on your hook real quick. We're going to do that again. So yarn over, go back into the stitch, then yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to do that again. So yarn over, go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook. So you're just going to keep doing that until you have the amount that you need. Sometimes it's a 3 double crochet cluster, sometimes it's a 4 double crochet cluster, sometimes it's even a 5 double crochet cluster. But I'm just going to do 4 double crochet clusters. So I'm going to do that one more time here, so it looks like that there's 4 parts of a double crochet in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 5 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. And there's your cluster. And sometimes you'll just have to chain 1 to close the cluster. So depending on what pattern you're using. But that's a cluster stitch. It's similar to a popcorn stitch and also very similar to a puff stitch, but it's a little different. It has a very different variation of those. So now I'm just going to single crochet into the next stitch. Sometimes you'll have to double crochet in the next stitch or half double crochet in the next stitch just to give it a little extra pop. And you can see that it does kind of have a 3D pop kind of look to it, which is really nice. So I'll show you again. We're going to cluster stitch into this next stitch right here. So yarn over, go into the next stitch there, then yarn over and pull through. Oopsie, there we go. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook, and do that until there are 4 of those in that same stitch. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 3 loops on the hook. There should be 5 loops on the hook when you're done with this here. There's 4 loops on the hook. And again, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops, and then chain 1 to close that cluster. And then I'm just going to single crochet into the next stitch just to close that up and make it have a little extra dimension, just like that. and those are cluster stitches. So you can practice this stitch as much as you want to, make some patterns with it, some sampler blankets or different swatches. You can also do like hot pads or baby blankets, baby hats, different types of scarves, and things like that. So this stitch is very simple. If you know how to do a double crochet, you can definitely do a cluster stitch. And you can check out my other episodes in the Stitch Gallery and Glossary to learn how to do other stitches like this one. Look at how fabulous that looks. And you know what? It looks kind of like a popcorn stitch, which is my absolute favorite stitch, by the way. And that's basically it. So I'm just going to finish off this row here. So, and hope you enjoy these Stitch Gallery and Glossaries. Oh, look at that. I'm making a puff stitch. Sometimes I confuse the two, so make sure you don't confuse the two and make puff stitches instead of clusters while I'm just babbling on here. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed these Stitch Gallery and Glossary videos. If you have a question on how to do a certain stitch, leave a comment and I will try to show you how to do different stitches here. So thank you so much to Red Heart Yarns for providing this luscious cotton yarn today, creme de la creme, and big thank you to my dad back there for filming, editing, and taking all the photos for all the tutorials at YARNutopia.com, and big thank you to you for watching. Until next time, happy hooking!